That was so good. Pretty puggies, not gonna lie. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was better than what I was expecting. I cannot wait to play it, bro. Let's watch this. What do we got here, boys? All right, okay.
Basically, here we have 5 different characters that we're showing on the demo. These top 4 we were showing at ExileCon when we had it a few weeks ago. This last one here is the Druid, which is the one that we're mostly sort of showing as the new character for Gamescom. And effectively, I guess one of the sort of primary things we want to get across to people is the sort of different combinations.
Oh shit, Lightning Storm. What the fuck is this? Lightning Storm is a long-lasting spell that shocks enemies. Volcano fires projectiles around itself and lasts a long time. Hold the button down longer to fire more initial projectiles. These spells are active. Transform into a bear. Bear maul to generate rage. Rampage slams the ground repeatedly while you consume rage. Furious Slam to stun all nearby enemies. Ferocious Roar near stunned enemies to power your slams with a second aftershock. Slam near any volcano and it will trigger more projectiles, including aftershocks. Summon wolves to distract enemies. They also debuff enemies when they appear. If you are dying a lot, use dodge roll. It's on spacebar.
Combinations between skills. This is like an instruction sheet that is used for in the consumer booth, so you can sort of know what you're doing. But I'm just going to go to one of the islands here and in Act 4 and show you what the Druid can do.
Great. I'm very excited.
In Act 4, you have a boat and you sort of can go to whatever of the different islands you want. They have all different like little stories that you can find out about. And in the demo, we've got...
I'm eyeing like every second, bro. What the fuck? Okay, chill, brother. Chill.
A few of them. There's more than just these ones, but this is what we'll do for the time being. So this is the Isle of Quin, which is an area that is a sort of like volcanic island with a whole bunch of goblins on it. And as we get here...
How can you say and so much? It's crazy, dude.
Show it off. So this being the Druid, it's kind of a hybrid spellcaster. So you've got both spells, and you also have a bear form. Well, in fact, more than a bear form. You have other different animal forms. So the thing people often hear for is this kind of stuff. Is this kind of stuff. So if you are in bear form, you can obviously run around. Using spells is also sort of important, and what we want to really do is make it easy for you to go from sort of spell casting mode to bear mode very quickly. So what I can do here is if I slam down, when you use your bear form, when you use a bear skill, you immediately just when you use a bear skill, you turn into a bear and you do the skill. When you use a spell, you sort of automatically transform and use the spell. So there's no like sort of having to manually transform from one to the other. You just use this use the skill and it does it. There's like a sort of slight time penalty. So if you do multiple bear things in a row, that's going to be more efficient because when you transform, there's a little time penalty of about 500 milliseconds for the transform. So you're kind of incentivized therefore to like. Use some spells, do what you're doing there, then turn into a bear, and then do that too.
What's happening there when he transforms? Is his material form is just becoming a bloody pulp?
Something like that. You can also, when you dodge roll, you can instantly transform back into your character.
It's kind of wet to the blood. Like
mid-transform.
What the fuck? What the fuck? It's kind of crazy, dude. Wait, why is there blood squirting out everywhere when he transforms? That's not very like nature. It's not very nature, is it? It's like a fucking more dark version of Druid. No, look.
So at any time,
look, when he transforms, it just squirts blood everywhere, dude. It's kind of crazy. Look.
So you can also when you dodge roll, you can instantly transform back into your character. You can even do it mid-transform if you want. So at any time, you can just kind of abort what you're doing.
When this guy transforms into like a bear in your house, dude, just blood, dude. He just rocks out like, hey, bro, fucking just covers you in blood. He's like,
doing and do it, and it's really important because in PoE we really wanted to PoE 2 that is, we really wanted to make sure that anytime you're feeling threatened, you can always just dodge roll to get out of there, and you're never interrupted from doing that.
And just what's the cooldown timer on your dodges?
No cooldown. You can just do it as long as you want. So just hold the button down.
I knew that.
Yeah. Hold the button down and roll away to your heart's content. There's actually, originally when we made the bear, we made it so that you could dodge roll as a bear, and and the animation was so fun that we decided to keep it, but just in town. So you're in town, you can you can do your roll there. Yeah, it was so funny, but we're like, we don't have anything we don't have anything to do with this, so we'll just throw it in town.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Anyway, right, so...
Dude, look how sick it looks.
Let's do an abridged version of what I do in that demo room here. So, effectively, what we want to make sure, as I said, is that all the skills
Put a volcano in the lightning storm down, bro.
This slam
See,
here
volcano.
causes you to stun enemies. And I've got another skill here that does a roar. And if there's any stun enemies nearby, it gives you what's called an exerted attack down here. And exerted attacks mean that when you do another slam, it gets doubled. So you see here, I got 2 slams out of that. So just to show you that again, it's slam, and then I do the roar, and then any other skill I use, including this like rampage skill here, which does like a lot of slams.
Rampage thing looks crazy.
I can do like a huge amount of damage. So normally when I cast this, I just get, you know, like slam, 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 slam. But if I stun people, get the exert. Oh, sorry, wrong button. If I stun people and get the exert, then when I'm doing it, it's slam, 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 slam. You know, like it's doubling the number. And that's also really handy because I have a few other skills I can synergize with. So one of them here is called the volcano. So when you make a volcano, when you slam down, it emits more projectiles every time the slam goes off near it, which is quite fun. Cool. And of course, if I use rampage and then rampage around the volcano, I'm getting a lot of slams. And then even more than that, if I do the exert combo, get the exerted attack, cast a volcano, and then do a rampage, now I'm getting an absolute crap ton of projectiles, which annihilates bosses very easily. So
that seems OP, bro. You're getting a lot of synergy there.
Kind of thing. Yeah. Once again, we just really want to make sure that you get the feeling that you can use lots of skills, because in PoE 1 it was very common that you just right-click, and that was kind of all of your interaction. You know, in PoE 2 we want to make sure that there's a lot more different things going on. I also have some wolves, which I can use, which is useful because the druid being a hybrid.
I mean, compare those wolves to fucking D4 wolves, bro. D4 wolves are fucking like the fucking 5 generations behind that. Like, D4 wolves look so shit. It's like this like boxy guy, it's like and these motherfuckers right here, bro, look at that shit.
Wolves, which I can use. Which
oh my god,
useful because the druid, being a hybrid, is not necessarily the most tanky character ever. Even though you can turn into a bear, you're still you're not wearing a suit of armor, you know, like a warrior would be. So you do have to be a bit careful, and so that's where the stunning can be really useful to incorporate as a defensive measure. But also because, things like wolves. Also things like tornado, which I don't have on this.
The game looks amazing, doesn't it?
That's in the demo version. This one's designed for the players to play, and normally you get that as a quest reward a little bit later. So I can't quite show you that. But yeah, I've got a tornado skill that will suck monsters in. It's another sort of tactical option on the battlefield that you can be using. Go on.
What's happening on your health bar there? It looks like you're building up a shield.
Yeah.
What ability is triggering that?
So all intelligence characters, sorry, that is to say, any armor you're wearing for intelligence characters has energy shield. So that's just a
like
sort of standard. Yeah, it's just a thing that you have. So if I don't take damage for a while,
interviewing right now,
I get Halo style energy shield building up there.
Cool.
So anyway. Right, so that's like a few of those interactions, but I guess another thing that is really nice to have in PoE, you know, this being a game a lot about having interesting interactions, and but also some automation is something that we want to support, just like in PoE 1.
You notice how like the difference in this gameplay, and then you compare the difference to like the Diablo, like those ones where they're like sitting there just spamming A, like just how much more interesting it is when there's actual gameplay mechanics that are important, that feel, you know, it's so much better to see like synergistic abilities, you know, that you use in tandem to get cool combos and stuff. It's interesting.
So in the
default bed
inventory here, I've got a gem called Cast While Channeling, and I've got my channeling skill, which is this volcano, where if I hold it down, it like bursts out with more projectiles. Ideally, what I'd like to be able to do is reduce the number of skills that I need to be using to kind of pull off the combos that I'm doing, because I want to be able to have my lightning going, I want to have my volcano going, I want to be rampaging around and all that stuff. I want to kind of be able to do that stuff together a bit more easily. So I can open the skill screen here and put Cast While Channeling in here.
And
when I do that, I'm going to take Lightning Storm and put that in as well. Hang on, let me just get rid of this annoying guy here. And now whenever I'm channeling, I'm able to cast Lightning Storm automatically. So I'm going to enable that buff. here.
How many of the gems can you have?
And now, when I use my volcano, I get the lightning storm happening automatically. And that makes a little death zone here that's really, really handy. And then, of course, once I've got that, I can be slamming down with the bear and be creating a really nice
good zone control.
Yeah, doing a thing there.
Damn.
So that's really nice. But we actually have another channeling skill. On the bear, which is this charge. And it's actually a bit annoying that it triggers the lightning storm as well, because I'd rather have my little death zone that I'm trying to do. And so that's why it's kind of useful that in PoE, any buff that you have, you can choose which weapon sets that you want to have that enabled for. So if I turn this off as a bear, I'm going to get my spirit back and disables the buff. And now if I change to a human, the buff goes straight back on automatically. Change back to a bear and it falls back off again. So any buff you can just choose, like, do I want this to apply? Do I not want this to apply?
What the
and then the spirit that I'm reserving, charge.
Go back.
And
so when you use the charge,
I get a lightning storm happening automatically. And that makes a little death zone here that's really, really handy. And then, of course, once I've got that, I can be slamming down with the bear and be creating a really nice
good zone control.
Yeah, doing a thing there.
So that's his reservation. So you can have defensive auras. Wait, so you can have, that's OP, so you can have 2 different aura sets that function for like your druid caster skills, and then you can have your own bear skills. You could have determination on or whatever. I guess they're not gonna have determination in PoE
so,
too.
that's really nice. But we actually have another channeling skill. On the bear, which is
I've seen spirit. We understand how spirit works, but I've never seen it in action before. I never even saw that spirit bar. It's cool to actually see
charge.
it.
And it's actually a bit annoying that it triggers the lightning storm as well, because I'd rather have my little death zone that I'm trying to do. And so that's why it's kind of useful that in
So go castle channeling.
PoE,
Damage, penetration, speed, elements. Okay, so this is like showing you the stats. Increase rarity monsters.
any buff that you
Okay, it's just showing you all your mods. Fishing. Classic, dude. Classic. Yeah, they got fishing in there, dude. Fishing. What the fuck's that about? What's going on there, boys? Holy shit. These fucking troll devs. Use the weapon set.
have, you can choose which weapon sets that you want to have that enabled for.
So bear is a set. Bear is a fucking set of weapons. Oh my god. I wonder what that would allow you to do. What kind of queer shit? Oh my god. Yo, this is gonna be abusable as shit, actually. Dude, imagine weapon set 2, right? Where you've got Purity of Fire, fucking Temper Shield, Arctic Armor on your weapon set 2, right? Which you basically, when you're fighting like a boss like Exarch, for example, you switch weapons, and then you have all these auras that go up, give you infinite defense to tank all the mechanics. Then you finish the dodge phase, go back to your other set, and now you take all those defensive buffs off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can abuse the shit out of that. Like, you can abuse the shit out of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you already tend to do that in PoE 1 right now, but now you're going to abuse it. So
if I turn this off as a bear, I'm going to get my spirit back and disables the buff. And now, if I change to a human, the buff goes straight back on automatically. Change back to a bear, and it falls back off again. So any buff you can just choose, like, do I want this to apply? Do I not want this to apply?
Nice.
And then the spirit that I'm reserving is being consumed or not consumed.
Yeah, that helps for clarity when you're like planning out your abilities or attacks.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is, because I want to automate more things, I'm going to get cast on melee stun, and I put that in here, and then I get the summon wolf ability that I have, and I'm going to put cast on melee stun with summon wolf. And that means that if I stun enough enemies, I'll be able to cast my wolf automatically, which is really nice because
that doesn't sound that good. I'm gonna be honest. That sounds like Jonathan, just cast the wolves before you go into combat, bro. Don't reserve your mana for that.
now I don't have to remember to cast my minions all the time. It just kind of happens automatically. And when the wolves first come out, they also do a howl, which causes them to do a crit debuff on monsters. So when I'm going to stun some guys, there wasn't quite enough charge, so I'll set 76% up the top there. There we go. So now I've got a wolf cast automatically. And now as I'm just going through, I'm just getting my wolf summoned without having to do anything. There should be another one there. And then it's especially good to use it on cast while stunning, because that means I can use my exert. Sorry, I put that on the wrong key.
I'm not a big fan of cast when stun, okay? Because it's too situational, and when you get to a boss or a unique enemy which is too tanky, you can't stun him, bro. Well, that's a problem, isn't it? Now, PoE 2, there's a stun meter. So what does a stun meter, when you like stagger them, give you like fucking 15 stacks of the cast while stunned? Like, how does that work?
I think it's Rampage. Where's the Warcraft?
How's that work? Does that kick it count? Do you get like 5? Is it like stunning 50 enemies?
I get an extra wolf.
You don't reserve mana, chat. You don't reserve mana in this game. You reserve spirit. So in PoE 2, you don't reserve mana because they want to keep the mana bar as mana. So the little white bar at the top here, where are we at now? 922. The little white bar at the top here, that's Spirit. So when he was reserving, so now he's reserved. That's reserving his fucking Lightning Storm right there, and then that's not reserving Lightning Storm. So it's like a reservation bar. It allows him to open, basically change reservation skills. It makes it so much more simple because it turns it into a static mechanic instead of having like reservation efficiency and you've got to like fucking get the sliver of mana and your character like reduces the mana of the cost to 0 and all this bullshit. No, you just get to use mana as mana and then you just get to use Spirit as a flat thing where you can just equip an item and it has like, oh, this item has 20 Spirit. Oh, this thing costs, 50 Spirit to reserve. It's very simple and easy to understand. It makes sense for like, new gamers. It's way better. It's way better. I mean, yeah, there's probably going to be some teething issues initially as they get it going and there'll probably be some abuse cases. But ultimately, once they've separated these two things out, it's going to make the game a lot nicer to play and a lot easier to understand when it comes to like, oh, can I get this aura in or can I not? Because, right now you get to like use PoE because you're like working in all these percentages and every time you get like a bit of reservation efficiency, it changes the amount you reserve your aura by like all three of them from like 32%, 0.5 to like 29.7%, and then it's a lot harder to calculate than if you were just like, oh, this aura costs 40 Spirit. Oh, this item increases my Spirit. Bada bing, bada boom. It makes a lot of sense.
Which I didn't get that time. No, I did. I just didn't notice. Okay, right. So do that again. Get my stun. Get a wolf. And now that I've got that, I can do my exerted attack. With the roar. I once again failed to do the timing right because I'm in a bit of a funny setting here. Do the roar and then I can get the rampage. And the thing is, while I'm doing that, all the monsters nearby are getting that crit debuff on them. So it's kind of a way to get like more for less, if you know what I mean. So that's like a quick introduction to some druid skills here. But I can also go and let me just find the boss for this area and we'll see if we can utilize all of those.
Yo, drop a volcano with Lightning Storm and do a rampage, bro.
Do my rampage a little bit further, and then we'll rampage over to where the boss is.
Dude, rampage crazy, bro. What the fuck?
And so you can see what's going on.
Rampage is OP, bro.
Where is the boss? There's a problem.
The animation of rampage looks so sick.
Quite where the boss will be.
It's okay.
Right, there it is. So this here is an arena that the goblins have made to sort of fight their beasts against each other. And here we have the blind beast. Which is one of an albino version who they've blinded.
Do it, bro, do it.
So here I want to get the,
okay. To the triple, run around in circles.
You can see, like, utilizing all these different attacks here. I can actually melt the boss, exactly. Because I'm getting that the volcano is actually even better. We'll have to run away from that, though. It's even better against large monsters because the projectiles hit
shotgun. Because
the area that the boss takes up is larger. More of the projectiles of the volcano are going to hit the boss. So that means that it's actually very advantageous.
Do you see that? He like was channeling over here. The boss moved and then he moved his mouse and then it changed where the thing channeled to. Which is something that's cool. That wouldn't happen in PoE 1.
No, get away from that, Okay. So, it's very advantageous to be able to use Volcano against a boss like this.
Don't die, bro!
Go for it. Okay. Alright, so... use your potion. Oh, yes, that's what... sorry.
Oh, shit!
Oh, shit! Okay, okay, right, there we go. I need to stun him. Okay, there we go. Got the stun, get the exert, get the rampage. That's what I need to do. He's in the wrong place, though. Okay, no, he's alright. He's moving into it. There we go. Alright, so there we go. Alright. Oh,
play it safe, bro. Play it safe.
What I want to do is doing that is do my...
Dude, you're gonna get hit again by the thing!
Do my channel. And then ideally I can pull him back in, and then I can probably just slam. I can probably just slam. Oh yeah, there we go. Nice. All right, there we go. So that's the druid.
That's awesome. Yeah. Can you show me a little bit more about the loot?
There's probably not like a huge amount to talk about there at the moment. I mean, it's very similar to Path of Exile 1 in that regard. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of changes under the hood, but I guess one thing.
Damn, all the new icons and shit, bro. God damn, that's crazy.
Want to make sure of is that in PoE 1 we had a problem with like way too many white items on the ground, this kind of stuff. In PoE 2, we really want to improve the loot. There's a few different ways we're addressing that. One of them is gold, which we added. Another one, though, is that the effect of what's it called? Item rarity does a lot more now. So what that means is that bosses are much likely to drop better items rather than more items, which is a better thing for the player.
I like that. It sounds cool.
Spam everywhere. So,
I like that.
Yeah. This particular boss dropped a an attribute gaining quest item, so I can use that and get some more attributes. So that's a reason to do one of these side bosses. And then if you like, I can go to a different character class and show you some other stuff there. If you
I would
like.
love that. Let's
Sure,
do
sure.
that.
Damn. 30 minutes. I'm still craving PoE 2 gameplay. My reserve, however, has been refilled for the next decade. And reading the beer was insane. Yeah, dude, the rampaging bear was so good. That was so good. Like, straight up, the rampaging bear, bro. God damn. It looked, when it was running around and just like seamlessly going, look, he's like this, bro. And then he goes from that to then just like boom, 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 boom. You know, it was seamless, mate. It was seamless. Take note, this is what a druid is. Ripperino, double areno. Well, these dwellers are not just spamming basic attacks on their own showcase. Yeah, that's what I noticed as well, dude. Very perceptive. Pretty puggies, not gonna lie. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was better than what I was expecting. Literally, that was better than I was expecting. The animations. I cannot wait to play it, bro. I cannot wait to get PoE 2 on my computer and play it in my house and in my peripherals.
Because he is
God.